his report.
Okay. Okay, we got a motion and a second.
A second.
We have a second by Supervisor Group, so discussion or questions on the motion?
Can you put the 14? Please? Thank you.
Okay,
Mr. Chair,
Supervisor, please.
are you dealing with the third bullet down?
That's correct.
I would have to abstain from that discussion, so I'll leave the room as we've been instructed,
Okay,
because I deal with the board that I'm currently on.
okay. Any other discussions on the motion on the floor? So,
Mr. Chair.
well, we'll wait till Supervisor Pease is out of the room then. Supervisor Wormer?
If, Mr. Chair, if that third bullet gets reported as is the presenter is jeopardizing himself because it's a biased and opinionated bullet, and as a county government, when you're on government paid time, you cannot be involved in a political slant, bias, or opinion that is of yourself, and thus it has the potential to incriminate the presenter or the people that put this report together. So it could be an ethics violation.
Well, I don't know if Derek is an employee of the,
He's not an employee.
no,
He serves.
he serves on a board that's a separate board that, you know, the county has members on that board.
Well, the county cannot be part of this. If the county is part of this presentation, it shouldn't even be on county agenda because of its.
Well, that's why Supervisor Dozel has to have it removed, so, and that's the motion on the floor, so. Any other discussion on the motion to remove the item from the agenda? Are you getting it ready to vote? Okay. We'll vote on the motion electronically.
Mr. Chair, if this does go on and is approved, then this meeting may be jeopardized. Because it is a violation of our code of conduct.
And I guess for Council Supervisor Kubarski.
Just for clarification, John, a yes vote removed this from the report.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Supervisor McLaughlin.
I was wondering if Corp Council had any comments about what Supervisor Wormer.
I did review our ethics portion here. I'm looking at it. I'm going from my memory. I don't see where this would be an ethics violation off the bat here, but again, it's something that I haven't looked into closely enough this specific instance, but off the bat, I don't see an ethics violation on this.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
I'd like to add that the position is a contract position with the county, so the county does pay a contract amount for it.
Well, the county pays the economic development, it doesn't pay Derek directly. Right.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
Kyle, that's paid to economic development, correct? That's correct.
Okay. Okay, so we have the motion on the floor to remove that from the agenda, so we have the vote set, please vote.
Would you please explain that again? If a yes vote or
Is that a yes vote removes it off the agenda? We'll strike it. Supervisor McCollum,
You incorrect button, I meant it, but yeah. Or no, wait.
yes, we remove it from the agenda.
No, all right, I voted, for yeah, let it stay.
Okay,
Sorry.
if your vote comes up and you see it and it's incorrect, you can let the clerk know and she can change it.
Total votes 17, 11 yes. 6 no, 1 abstain.
Okay, that would be, okay, that'd be votes fine. Motion passes out of the agenda that way. If we can't remove the one part at one time, we'll just remove the whole PDF right now, so. And then we can get it struck and add it back in, so. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Okay. So we had that struck, that amended. Any other questions on the agenda on the floor, amended agenda? Okay, seeing none, all in favor of the amended agenda, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed signify by saying nay.
Yeah.
Okay. Noted, Supervisor Scott Peterson name. Agenda is approved. We have the minutes from the committee as a whole and the county board from January 17th. Motion approved by Supervisor Bobarski. And for a second by Supervisor Crew. Any discussion or questions? The minutes. Okay, seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed signify by saying nay.
nay?
Okay, noted. The minutes are approved. I don't think there's anybody signed up for public participation. Clerk, please read announcement of meetings.
Your board of supervisors being read by the county clerk and appoint 6 supervisors to approve the claims. Edwards, Gaberski, SP, Gilner, West, and Wimmer. Churchill 193.84, Peeler 309.28, Gilner 263.25, Wimmer 175.50, SP 544.80, Chasey 392.25, Pavilio 61.55, Edwards 220, West 350, Moans 121.79, Jaworski 204.30, Carlson 229.19, Baker 81.20, McLaughlin 81.20, David 55, Kraus 96.92, Malaki 55, Olson 55, Olson March 55, Robertson 120.24, Time 69.41, Beeson 297.70, Townsend 55, Waugh 55, Worth 87.75, total 4,230.17.
Okay, thank you. We have no claims or correspondence. When the clerk is ready, please read. If there's no, there's no objection, we'll take both of the appointments together. Okay, okay. If there's no objection, we'll just take them both together. So if the clerk would please read.
Reappoint Deanna Peterson and Barb Watch in the library for 3-year terms, and reappoint Mary Nelson to serve as the representative to the South Central Library System Board for a 3-year term.
Motion approved by Supervisor Rick Pease, second by Supervisor Churchill. Any discussion or question on the appointments? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed signify by saying nay. Okay, those appointments are approved. We have no unfinished business, so we'll just move on to reports. Sand Valley presentation. Derek, do you want to make the introduction?
Mr. Kaiser from Sand Valley is here. Feel free to come on up to the microphone, I think, probably right. Yeah.
Hello, I'm Michael Kaiser. I'm the owner and developer of Sand Valley. Derek invited me to be here tonight to give an update on where we stand. I wasn't asked much more than that, so I'll try to just give a quick update, and I'm more than happy to answer any questions as well. I don't remember the last time I was here, so the update might start back at the beginning, but we opened our resort in 2017, one golf course. In 2018, we opened our second golf course, which was financed through a TIF district that we created with Mr. McLaughlin and the town of Rome, and the support of the county, the other taxing authorities. I hope everybody agrees that's proven to be a great partnership because it's led to pretty phenomenal growth of the resort. We've just finished this last year, our third golf course, which will open next year. We're halfway through our fourth golf course. We'll finish that in 23 and open it in 2024. And we're approaching 300 hotel rooms. We're also building 3 new restaurants. Right now we have 1 kitchen, 2 restaurants. We're building a pizza restaurant, a barbecue restaurant, and sort of a pool house, casual restaurant. And if it weren't for the TIF and the TIF, we might still just have that one golf course. So working in partnership with the county and the town, I think together we were able to achieve, pretty phenomenal growth. We employ almost 800 people in a given calendar year. During our busiest month, there will be roughly 450 people on our payroll. And that's year-round equivalent, about 170 employees when you spread it over the winter, during which we slow down quite a bit. We are trying to grow our winter business. We've had some very popular weekends. We had a big hockey tournament a couple weekends ago. We have Wim Hof, which is people actually come and they pay us to dunk themselves in the lakes, the freezing cold lakes. It's a pretty amazing business. I wouldn't have believed it if you told me. And then they come back and they do it again. So we are trying to grow the winter business. We're really trying to focus on family business. One of the great joys of developing the resort has been to see families come. Our core customers are, men who golf in groups, which is great. But it's very satisfying to see families come together without iPhones or tablets and be outside and have dinner together. So we're going to put our efforts over the next 5 to 10 years on focusing on family summer business and then year-round pursuits. So once we finish this fourth golf course, we'll probably put that development to rest for a little while and just focus on, family summer, recreation. And golf will be one of those things they can enjoy, but we want them just outside together and give them places to sleep and eat food when they're not outside. So that's really the update of where we are. Got 4 golf courses, a bunch of hotel rooms, more restaurants coming. We are expanding our conservation footprint. We have cleared about half the timber on the 7,000 acres south of Badger in Big Flats. We haven't removed any of the 82 miles of ATV trails on that. We're going to keep that properly dedicated to ATV recreation. I hope people agree that we beautified it by restoring the prairies, and we're going to continue to do that on that property. And I think that's about it. I'm more than happy to answer as many questions as you like, or you're good at that, but that's sort of where we are. Yes, sir.
The recreational center, where's that in the plan?
Tell me remind me.
You've got the subdivision going in. There were 50 lots or 30 lots, 30 half-acre lots.
Yes.
To the east of that, you're talking about a recreational center, tennis courts, indoor tennis.
Yes.
Those type of things.
Yeah. Okay.
What's that?
Yeah. So we have a building that's part of. So we call that Sedge Village. I mean, it's not actually a village, but it's those 36 lots. It's a big lake that we're building. the amenities that are going in there now, one of them is a family-oriented golf course. It's a 12-hole golf course. There's no bunkers. It has 5 par 3s and many short par 4s. So a scratch golfer will be challenged, but if you're new to the game, it's fun, right? So the idea is the whole family, whether or not you're an expert or new to the game, people, older golfers and younger golfers can enjoy it. So that's sort of the center of that. The recreation center you alluded to is a restaurant with an indoor tennis court. It's not exactly tennis as we know it. It's sort of like a unique it's a 600-year-old version of the game. There's 10 courts in the country. They're all very private. This is the first public court. We want to bring this great ancient game to anybody who cares to try it. My hope is that 20 years from now, the world champion will have been born in Adams County, right? There's courts in Australia, along the East Coast in England. And, we hope to introduce the sport to Adams County. So there's a restaurant in there. We're building more grass tennis courts. Those have been very popular. I should say this golf course, we're calling it the Commons because golf is one of its uses. We want people to fly kites, throw baseball, throw football, play ultimate frisbee, walk their dogs. It's common. This is common ground, right? That we could all share respectfully, right? Golfers can play golf alongside people who are just outside doing other things. So that it'll be wall to wall best use. So just, short fairway grass, but the whole 40 acres and all the holes. It's just all short grass. And then this barbecue restaurant, which is right up against that golf course. We'll have beautiful views over that course, completely open to the public, barbecue themed, pretty fast service model. So excited about that. And then the pool house, which is a sort of a bar, not a full kitchen, but you really get like, I think, grain bowls and things like that. So I think that's probably what you're asking about. And that's what's currently either under construction. All those things I mentioned will be open in 2024. That building you asked about should be open sometime midsummer. I'll be the first one. And it's under construction. It's under construction now.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, Mr.
I know it's quite pricey to golf, the big courses, will the smaller courses be affordable to middle income people?
It depends on what you call affordable. Our par 3 course is $50 for resort guests. That's a lot of money. It's 2 hours of golf. Our main courses, the way we price our golf courses this year, peak season is $235. It's a lot of money to play golf. Our shoulder season, it's half of that. So let's call it $120. First round of the day at the resort is full price. So off season, $120. Second round of the day is half price, $60. Third round of the day is free. Fourth round of the day, we hand you $100. So for $80, you can play 4 of the best courses in the country, $20 a course. We think that's great value. It's still $80 to go play golf. That's still a lot of money, but we think the value is there, and our business is driven around serving, the destination traveler. For that family course I described, kids will certainly play free. I should say that children of guests play golf for free at Sand Valley. And this Commons course, kids will certainly play free. We're exploring more aggressive affordability, but none of the resort courses I would put in the category of affordable golf. The way I use it in Madison, we restored a community affordable golf course, and that's $20 to play 9 holes, and you can buy a season's pass. So that's not the model of the resort. I'd love to be a part of, because there's lots of sand, working with any local government to build an affordable municipal course. That's what golf needs a lot more of, right? It's fun to build resorts and great golf courses, but the world of golf needs more affordable, accessible golf. That doesn't fit in our business model, but I would love to loan my expertise to helping Adams County build that golf course. You got the sand here for it. and it can be exceptional. You know, not to go on too much of a tangent, but
Thank you.
I wanted to hear more.
please reach out. He made his point. It wasn't a question, it was a point. But if you have a question, I'd be happy.
I have a question.
Yes.
Leopold, is that gonna be a private entity to your courses? Because you just said that you can go off all four in a given day. So that means, people that can play publicly on the other two courses are gonna be able to.
Every golf course we build is publicly accessible.
Okay, that's all I can.
You may, so I think you're referring to Lido, not
Yeah,
Leopold.
yeah, right.
That is a private golf club, so it was financed by its members. That's completely accessible to the public. Right, so, and I think that's probably what you're wondering about. So it is a private golf club. There's certain times that, you know, in the mornings where members play exclusively, but our resort guests and the public have access to play that golf course.
Okay,
And it's the model that we see in every country outside of the US, which is private, I mean, like Arrowhead does that, it's a private golf club, right? But it's accessible to people who want to pay to play it, and that's sort of the model for that course. It's open to the public.
Thank you.
All right, well, thank you.
Well, thank you for coming and giving us an update.
Thank you.
thank you.
Okay. Next, we have the 2022 report of taxes and license fees due to the state. Need a motion to accept the report. Supervisor Mullins, second by Supervisor Carlson. Any discussion or questions? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed signify by saying nay. Report is accepted, so we'll move on to the county manager's report.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and good evening. So I begin with recognition being given to county personnel. Samuel Bortz has done an excellent job writing an article that's very informative. The article showcases his talent and professionalism. And so many departments do so much behind the scenes that put Adams County government in a positive light. It's especially nice when citizens actually convey their gratitude to me and others. This recognition goes to Pat Kedlowski and his team for a great communication, for the great communication surrounding the County Z project. We move on to projects. I received an update today regarding the courthouse boardroom. The equipment from Fairings actually is going to arrive, I believe the middle of March, March 13th is the date so far. And so they're going to be installing the new equipment. Of course, then there's the removing of the current equipment. So we're still going to be in the works in March, but so it moved up the timeline from April to March, if you will. Veterans Memorial is still earmarked for a spring 23 completion. County Highway M, the project is still estimated at 8.3 million. Last month, I mentioned that the single project two-phase road construction came in at 7.6 million. The consulting engineering piece will likely make up the rest. What we have right now for phase one is 144,983, and that includes some of the work that I guess working with Frontier in phase two. We are assured by the utilities that they are committed to having the utility work completed in time for the 2024 phase two project. And under happenings, Julie Schnolis is our newly appointed Register of Deeds. We are very, very pleased that we did have an internal candidate for this position, and we are looking forward to all that she has to offer. The satellite location for Scott Soik. You may recall last time that they made a presentation. He was here with Congressman Derek Van Orden. And we plan on putting him up in the community center so he's more accessible to the public. And he's going to be here once a week. So I don't believe he's on a schedule just yet. Things keep moving around, but that is the intent. He tends to be here at least once a week. And last month and into this month, We're being progressive in providing hands-on emergency procedure training at department levels. And we have efficiencies being realized in land and water. So special thanks to Dusty and his land and water team for acquiring the survey drone, which will prove to be beneficial in the very near future. A new section to my report, which is on page 3, is what's on the horizon. You see that we have the 2023 WCA Legislative Conference still available to you, so if you have not registered, please do so. This is a very good event. I anticipate peak time study for the Sheriff's Department to be completed by the end of March. I am putting together a splash pad presentation for the City of Adams. I did have one board member request to be part of that. The presentation won't be part of this body, but it will be presented at Adams, the City of Adams. So if you are interested, I can invite you when that actually is scheduled. Just let me know, shoot me an email. I'm also going to start a quarterly training. And we're going to start out with levy. This is a big topic among most. And what we're going to do is we're going to have a committee of the whole. And then you'll get this board training. And then the training will then be loaded under government and then board. And then there'll be another key there where it says board training. So all of this will be on the website at your convenience. So, you know, as we get new board members, we won't have to repeat a training. We can just refer them back to a previously recorded one. And I'm going to start creating an update on our strategic plan quarterly. And I hope to have the first report in March. So every quarter after that, you're going to see an update on our strategic plan, accomplishments that we've had that line up with our strategic goals. And then last there in the bullet point is creating a presentation for the municipalities to show them the impact. So again, I was talking about levy. Show them the impact of potentially letting property go at, you know, they have a perceived value of land, but perhaps letting it go at a discount or even give it away to some extent to realize that there is a future benefit in levy growth. So what I plan to do in this presentation is to actually show them the numbers. It's easy to talk about it, but I want to show them what the impacts would be. You know, there's deals to be made with developers that may want to come into the area. And then we go on to page 4 at the bottom. There is just my update with Rome. This is I usually report to you on what happened in economic development. And you can see that Rome is making some website improvements. They've had growth, so they've hired some new positions too. So 3 police officers, 1 public works person. And they're also expanding some of their area. Are there any questions on my report?
Supervisor Moon.
I was in Washington.
What was in Washington?
Said, how was it in Washington?
It was rainy. The event was awesome. I don't like to travel, just gonna be honest. But the event was definitely worth it.
Supervisor Barsky.
Thanks, John. I'm not sure this is the proper time or it needs to go in the committee, but what you had mentioned was when we were talking about the County M project and that Frontier seems to be an issue in the timing thing. Will we hold any, or do we hold any leverage or agreed upon time where it will be done before construction gets finished in 2024? And that might be a question for Pat, I don't know, but anyway.
Mr. Chair, I can begin, but I see the Pat's in the room. I will begin by the best that we can get is a commitment from them. I'm not sure if we can hold them to it. Pat is nodding his head yes. Our engineers are going to be working with Frontier. And I think that is, when I say working with, my understanding is help encourage them to get things completed. If you will. You wanted to add anything, Pat?
I can, you are correct, and we don't have a contract or that type of thing with Frontier. What we have is a sense of a verbal commitment from Frontier that they'll complete their relocation.
impossible to get.
It's not abnormal. We at one time tried to get written commitments from all the utilities on County Trumbull County Ave that they would relocate by this date. And I don't remember the specific date. The local utility was willing to do that. They were ready to put their name on that piece of paper, but the other folks were not and would not make any commitment to do so. So it's not unique to Adams County. These issues are statewide. One of the things that it was going to benefit us, maybe some here on County M, in that our the engineering company that we're working with, they coordinate the statewide meeting between DOT and Frontier. So we have that little bit of an in that way with Frontier, and that our engineer, they talk to Frontier every week about upcoming construction projects and relocation issues. So hopefully that's going to help expedite things for them.
Thanks, Pat. Supervisor Moon.
I'm under the understanding that we were turned down when we went to the state for money for M. That the grant was not allowed and we had resubmitted.
We did not receive any of the BIL funds. That is correct.
Okay, so if we look back on the email that I received yesterday on the governor's new list on the surplus, roads are on there. Can we go to that one and get money from that?
Mr. Chair, so how I'll respond to that is how much longer do you want to wait? When we were doing the BIL funding, I believe that consumed a lot of time and it kind of put the project on hold. And we're hearing from our citizens, fix this road.
I can appreciate that, but during that period of time, I'm just wondering if we could approach this list, if you review this list and look as to the parts of it that are acceptable for people to ask for money. And whether we get it or not, I guess.
Supervisor Crew.
Give you a little rundown on that one. So we have a similar need in Wisconsin Rapids, 8th Street, main road through Wisconsin Rapids. So we went through that project list with DOT last week. Talked to them, okay, how do we get this on the schedule, right? So everything the DOT does is basically a 6-year schedule. So if we got it on that schedule right now, you'd wait 6 years to get it done. So, you know, county manager's right. I mean, you can get those things approved, but the 6-year cycle. So even the worst road in my district, which is Highway 13, 8th Street, is on the schedule now for repair in 2028.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anything else? Okay, seeing none, we have 2 ordinance changes we'll take together if there's no opposition. Okay. Amendments to ordinance 22-09 and 22-010 to the town of Rome codes, chapter 360 to the section 360 through 30 map. So entertain a motion to approve those. Supervisor Krug, second by Supervisor Baker. Any discussion or questions on those amendments? Supervisor Wormer?
Were those the two parcels that were in conservancy? Overlay?
No, Supervisor Baker shaking said no.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you.
okay. Any other questions? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed signify by saying nay. Okay, those amendments are approved. Committee minutes. Discussions. Okay. Move on then to ordinances when the clerk is ready. Please start with ordinance number 2.
Ordinance number 2, 2023, amendment of the Adams County zoning ordinance. Rezone a portion of the parcel from A1 exclusive agriculture with farmland preservation overlay to R1 rural residential in the town of New Haven. Recommended for enactment by the Adams County Planning and Zoning Committee on the first day of February 2023. Gilner, Churko, Bozel, Rock Reiner, Shapey, Carvillo, Beeson.
Motion to enact by Supervisor Gilner, second by Supervisor Churko. Any discussion or questions on ordinance number 2? Seeing none, please vote.
Total votes 18 yes. Fail, yes.
Ordinance number 2 is enacted. When the clerk is ready, we'll move on to ordinance number 3.
Ordinance number 3, 2023. Amendment of Adams County zoning ordinance, to rezone a portion of parcel from A1 exclusive agriculture and conservancy, shoreline, wetland, and habitat protection zoning to A3 secondary agriculture recreational residential in the town of Preston. Recommended for enactment by the Adams County Planning and Zoning Committee on the first day of February 2023. Gilner, Turco, Dozel, Knockreiner, Shafee, Carvillo, Thiessen.
Motion to enact by Supervisor Gilner. Second by Supervisor Taylor. So ordinance number 3 is on the floor. Any discussion or questions? Supervisor McLaughlin.
How big a parcel was it? Rezone?
Dusty, if you want to grab a mic and please.
The total portion of the property under the rezoning is 5 acres. The conservancy is less of that, but the A135 is. That part of it is being switched is 5 acres.
Okay, that was, I was gonna get that, so the whole piece is not in shoreline conservancy. That was the thing.
No, only a fraction.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, seeing none, please vote on ordinance number 3.
Total votes 18 yes. Fail, yes.
Ordinance number 4 is enacted. Or 3, sorry about that. When the clerk's ready, we'll move on to ordinance number 4.
Ordinance 4, 2023, amendment of the Adams County zoning ordinance to rezone a parcel from A1 exclusive agriculture to A3 secondary agriculture to I1 industrial to I1 industrial in the town of New Chester. Recommended for enactment by the Adams County Planning and Zoning Committee on the first day of February 2023. Gilner, Churko, Dozel, Knockreiner, Shafee, Carvillo, Thiessen.
Motion to enact by Supervisor Gilner. Second by Supervisor Taylor. We have ordinance number 4 on the floor. Any discussion or questions? Supervisor Kubarski.
Just refresh my memory. Didn't we approve that once, or is this in addition to what we approved?
This was approved at the committee level as, since I've been here, they have not been to the county board.
Any other questions? Okay. Seeing none, please vote on ordinance number 4.
Total votes 18 yes. Fail, yes.
Ordinance number 4 is enacted. When the clerk is ready, we'll move on to ordinance number 5.
Ordinance number 5, 2023, amendment of Adams County zoning ordinance. Rezone a parcel from B1 rural business to R1 single family residential in the town of Monroe. Recommended for enactment by the Adams County Planning and Zoning Committee on this first day of February 2023. Gilner, Churko, Dozel, Knockreiner, Shafee, Carvillo, Thiessen.
Motion to enact by Supervisor Carlson. The second by Supervisor Edwards, so, okay. Ordinance number 5 on the floor. Any discussion or questions? Okay, seeing none, please vote.
Can I ask one question? Yeah, we're not voting. I'm just, as I'm reading this, I hear Lyanna saying the first day of February, but on all the documents, it says March 1st. That I've read, I think. That's for publishing? For publishing. Okay, thank you. Total votes, 18 yes, failed yes.
Ordinance number 5 is enacted. When the clerk is ready, we'll move on to ordinance number 6.
Ordinance 6, 2023, amendment of Adams County zoning ordinance. Rezone a parcel from B1 rural business to R1 single family residential in the town of Monroe. Recommended for enactment by the Adams County Planning and Zoning Committee on this first day of February 2023. Gilner, Churko, Dolable, Knockreiner, Shapey, Carvillo, and Deason.
Ordinance to enact by Supervisor Carlson, second by Supervisor Churko. We have ordinance number 6 on the floor. Any discussion or questions? Supervisor Kowarski.
Is that all on the west side of the road? Because when I looked at the map, it almost looked like there was a square ground on the east side. Also. So just clarify that, will you please?
This application and the, or request and the one prior to it are both on the west side, completely on the west side of the road. They're neighboring lots.
All right. Thanks.
Any other questions? Seeing none, please vote on ordinance number 6.
Total votes, 18 yes, failed yes.
Ordinance number 6 is enacted. When the clerk is ready, we'll move on to resolutions with resolution number 4.
Resolution 4, 2023, resolution to authorize Adams County Highway Department to accept $4,608,209.41 grant from the Wisconsin Department of Transportation to fund the reconstruction of County M from 8th Drive to First Avenue, introduced by the Highway Committee, recommended for adoption by the Highway Committee this 12th day of January 2023. Carlson, Estes, McLaughlin, Eagersdorf.
Motion to enact by Supervisor Scott P, second by Supervisor Carlson. We have resolution number 4 on the floor. Any discussion or questions? Okay, seeing none, please vote.
Votes 18 yes, Sale yes.
Okay, resolution number 4 is adopted. When the clerk is ready, we'll move on to resolution number 5.
Resolution 5, 2023, resolution to create a self-imposed debt limit of 3% countywide equalized value. Introduced by the Admin and Finance Committee, recommended for adoption by the Admin and Finance Committee the 6th day of February 2023. West, Taylor, RPs, Grabarski, SPs.
Motion to adopt, do I have Supervisor Taylor, second by Supervisor Scott Pease. We have resolution number 5 on the floor. Any discussion or questions?
Mr. Chair.
Yes, Supervisor Churko first. Or Carvillo, sorry. Please.
My question is, wasn't there a 5% tax on the building of this new addition? Isn't that
was that tied in with this or? Trying to understand it.
I guess if the county manager would, or I guess finance director got up, we'll let him speak.
That's
I
like-
kind of know a history of it.
Yeah, I think you're referring to the sales tax that was imposed in
Yeah.
'93?
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, so this has absolutely nothing to do with the sales tax at all. So this resolution, the state says that we're able to issue debt up to 5% of the countywide equalized value. The countywide equalized value comes from the Department of Revenue. They give us those numbers and tell us what it is. 5% of the current countywide equalized value is $171 million. So that's how much we're allowed to issue debt for. We're bringing that down to 3% of the equalized value, which would be roughly $100 million. Currently, we have about $5 million of debt outstanding.
thank you.
Supervisor Dawson.
So help me understand this just a little bit and I'm not knowledgeable about this type of stuff, but when I look at this. I'm not really understanding why we wouldn't just write our budget to manage our expenses at 3% instead of changing. Or or setting a new ceiling for ourselves, if that makes sense. Because if we have to then. Overshoot that 3% for some reason, we have to come back here and do budget amendments and all that kind of stuff, so. What's the benefit to anyone or the county by setting this self-imposed limit?
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
Yeah, so this really doesn't. It doesn't really tie into the budget. What it's kind of getting at is when we do set the budget. And we do our levy limit worksheet. We are able to claim an exemption for the amount of levy that we need to make the debt service payments. Right? So. We can levy as much as we need to in order to pay the debt payments, as long as it doesn't exceed the amount of the debt payments for that current year. So kind of does work with the budget, but it doesn't at the same time. There are certain areas that we do need to issue debt for, but we're just trying to set a lower ceiling for ourselves.
So follow-up question. By, does that then mean that we may have to increase the levy to get rid of debt to stay under the 3% threshold?
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
No, we would not have to increase the tax levy to stay under the 3% threshold, because the only outstanding debt we have right now is just over $5 million, and that was for the solid waste project from 2019.
Okay, thank you.
Supervisor Rick Pease and Supervisor Kowarski.
We talked about this in committee too. If we ever want to go back to 5%, we could just bring back a resolution to go back to 5%. Is that correct?
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
Yes, so resolution is temporary and we can always change it, but to kind of emphasize a little bit more about what we're doing with this. So we have the state at 5% right now, and we're gonna try to implement a self-imposed limit of 3%. So what does that mean for the taxpayers? It means that we're being physically responsible when we consider debt. We have 2 types of levy. So levy is your taxes, are your taxes. And we have levy operating, which has a cap that it can only grow with growth, right? So that's operating. Then you have over here, debt. And debt has no limit. Like you can raise the levy when your principal and interest obligation rises, so can your levy then. So the levy does kind of move in what the message we're sending out is that we're going to do a self-imposed limit more than what the state has allowed us to be physically responsible. It's just a positive message out there to the community that we're going to be cognizant of future debt and be very conservative.
Supervisor Kowarski, did you have a comment down there or a question?
Supervisor Pease covered it.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, seeing none, please vote.
Total vote 18, 16 yes, 2 no. Wimmer, Shaky. Fail, yes.
Okay, resolution number 5 is adopted. We have no denials or petitions. Do I have a motion to approve the claims previously read by the clerk? Supervisor Scott P, second by Supervisor Turco. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed signify by saying nay. When the clerk is ready, please read per diems and mileage.
Turco, 141.92, Taylor, 100, Gilner, 132.75, Wimmer, 132.75, Estes, 106.55, Podolsky, 120.96, Shaky, 112.45, Doza, 100, Trevelyan, 106.55, Egersdorf, 102.62, Bork, 117.03, Edwards, 100, RPs, 100, West, 108.75, Moans, 107.86, Gaversky, 113.10, Carlson, 118.34, Krug, 124.89, Baker, 126.20, McLaughlin, 126.20, total 2,298.92.
Do I have a motion to approve? Supervisor Carlson, second by Supervisor Turco. Any discussion or questions? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed signify by saying nay. Per diem and mileage are approved.
Make a motion for the county clerk to correct any and all errors, read back at the next meeting if so requested.
And second by Supervisor Palin. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed signify by saying nay. Motion is approved. Next meeting date would be scheduled for the 21st, and that works for everybody. So, 6 o'clock. Okay. Otherwise, we're going to be going into closed session, so the public wants to leave. One comment I'd like to make, I know I've been getting a bunch of emails and phone calls from people that are concerned about planning and zoning. And I guess it would apply to any committees, if you have public that are looking at meetings and meeting times, you know, when a committee sets those, please be cognizant of, you know, what might work out for the constituents, so. You know, I don't know if everybody else has been getting them, but I've been getting them. So, but if the public needs to be involved, and I don't know what's about transpired, but so, okay. Otherwise, I'd entertain a motion for us to convene in closed session for Wisconsin State Stats 1985, Pram 1, Pram F, for purposes of considering financial, medical, social, or personal histories or disciplinary data, specific persons, preliminary consideration of specific personnel problems, or the investigation of charges against specific persons, except where paragraph B applies, which, if discussed in public, would likely to have a substantial adverse effect upon the reputation of any person referred to in such histories or data involved in such problems or investigations. To discuss Manager Cynthia Haggard's issue with comments made by a colleague. So motion to go into closed session by Supervisor Moans, second by Supervisor Baker. Roll call vote, I guess. Supervisor Turco. Yeah, confirm by saying yes, yes. Supervisor Fader.
Yes.
Supervisor Gilner.
Yes.
Supervisor Wimmer.
Yes.
Supervisor Scott Pease.
Yes.
Supervisor Shapey.
Yeah.
Supervisor Dozel.
Yes.
Supervisor Gabarsky.
Yes.
Supervisor Mullins.
Yes.
Supervisor Rick Pease.
Yes.
Supervisor Edwards.
Yes.
Supervisor Hagerstar.
Yes.
Supervisor Carrillo.
Yes.
Supervisor Carlson.
Yes.
Supervisor Crew.
Yeah.
Supervisor Baker.
Yes.
Supervisor McLaughlin. And Supervisor Weston, yes. So we're in closed session. Well, yeah. Well, I declare the meeting adjourned. Thank you all. Please be careful on the road in that couple days if it does snow.